Sagittarius, welcome to my channel, Starchaeology Tarot. I am Desi. A card just flew out. It's too early. I didn't even ask anything yet, and I haven't even brought your guides in. We'll see if it comes out again though, because maybe they're already here. What was I saying? Welcome to my channel. It's great to meet you. It's great to see you again if you've already been here before. This is good for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I encourage you to watch your other placements if you want a more complete picture of the complex, beautiful puzzle that you are. And whatever resonates with you here is what's meant for you. What doesn't is not. It's meant for another member of this chosen collective, so please do not take it personally. I'm going to take a moment now and call in your guides, your masters, call in spirit, call in your angels. The super cool thing about energy is that it transcends space and time. So it doesn't matter when I was doing this reading, when I'm doing this reading, or when you are receiving it. Because your guides knew you would be here at this precise moment that you are. You are an intended part of this collective, and I'm so happy that you're here. So, welcome Sag's guides. We are looking for any messages today for Sagittarius for the month of February. What are the most important, resonant, relevant messages coming through for all those who are receiving this reading? What are the most important messages coming through? Messages for Sagittarius for February. Okay. King of Pentacles. Ooh. Five of Wands. Wow, that's really cool. And Queen of Swords. Okay, Sag, so we have the King of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, the Queen of Swords. You're in a position this month where you are large and in charge. King of Pentacles energy, you are, there's something that you are very much in a leadership position. Maybe it's not leadership in a traditional sense, you know, maybe it's like, I am a leader, like not necessarily leader of a company, like you're not a boss. Some of you are, it's like you're a boss. Others of you, there's, it's more of like, I'm like the unspoken leader. You know, I'm the person who takes care of things. I get things done. I'm the person everyone calls. I'm the mom of my friends. Like, I'm the reliable, like caretaker, nurturer in situations that call for one. Like you're this almost like unelected official in that way. And this could be like in a friend group, in a family, in some sort of community. It could be at work. It could be that you are like an unelected leader at work in some way. Like you are, even though you're not at all like a higher title than people, you still somehow take on responsibility for others, and some of you really do. You have others depend on you. Like, you are responsible for others. But there's this real sense of like responsibility and duty and taking care of your people, and this is happening because you are good at that. Like, you are reliable, you are dependable, you are able to meet people's basic needs, get those needs met, match need with resource, with the required resource, and it's a real power, it's a real talent. It's like, no wonder you rise above the rest, especially this month, because you prove this, like, in your life. Like, it's not talk, it's like you walk the walk, and you earn this. You kind of earn this title, whether it's official or not. What's really hard this month is that there's a lot of conflict happening, maybe in the community in which you are this leader. There are a lot of voices talking, a lot of different belief systems, and everyone's ready to talk. Nobody wants to listen. And it's like kind of fruitless conflict. Like, sometimes conflict can be so powerful and helpful when it is true democratic debate, like when people are actually engaging because they want a real solution. That's when people listen. That's when people look for common ground with people who disagree with them, because what they are geared towards is solution. They're solution minded. They're not ego driven. So it doesn't matter what they don't need to be right. In fact, if someone else is offering something else, but it gets to the solution, it gets them to the solution that they want, they're happy to be wrong for the sake of that solution that benefits them. This isn't that kind of conflict. This is very much ego-driven conflict. It's like people just talking because they want to be heard, people talking because they want to be right. That goes very hand in hand also with just like being seen. Like, it could be that there's a lot of people in this community right now who don't feel understood. And so they are not seeking to understand. They're desperate to be understood. Maybe they are being misunderstood in some way. Maybe they are being misjudged, which kind of is really obvious in the art on this card of like being two-faced, like having someone see only one side of you when really you have all of these sides. There's all these different perspectives to look at you. There's complexity to your face. It's not this cut and dry thing like this is what I am. People don't want to be labeled in this community. People don't want to be written off, dismissed really easily, because they're like, other people are like, I know what you are, you're this, and that makes me resistant to you. And so that could be where this like conflict is coming from. It's people just really desperate to be understood, desperate to be seen, because of a kind of misjudgment, misevaluation that is going on. And that kind of can be, that kind of goes hand in hand with needing to be right, but also it can come across as needing to be right when maybe that's not really what it is about. Regardless, this conflict is fruitless because everyone is in that same boat. Everyone is seeking to be understood. Everyone wants to be heard and seen. They don't want to see. They don't want to listen. They don't want to understand someone else. They're more in a survival mode, a protective mode of themselves, a defensive mode of themselves, than a solution-minded mode. And when everyone's focused too much on like, I need to survive, I need to protect myself, like I feel unsafe, it's really impossible to find common ground and have your eyes like focused on solution, because you're so preoccupied with your own well-being. You feel threatened in some way. You can't be solution focused. You're like, I'm survival focused. I don't have any bandwidth to focus on solutions. So that's making it really hard for you, Sag, to lead right now. It's making it really hard to give people what they need, because you can't give someone, you can understand someone, you can listen to someone, you can see someone, but you can't like give someone else's understanding of that person. Like, that's not yours to give. That's outside of your power of control, like what you're able to do. So you're kind of struggling with boundaries because you feel this duty to people, you know, the way that a king takes care of his people. You feel this duty, you feel this sense of like, I have to take care of my people. I'm a caretaker, this caretaking sensibility. But you're really struggling because there are forces outside of yourself at play, and things that don't really have anything to do with you that are causing the conflict. So it's not that you didn't cause the conflict, and that makes it really hard for you to solve the conflict, especially when you're the only one maybe who wants to solve the conflict. Some of you are, though, wrapped up in the conflict too. Some of you, it's like that need to be seen and understood and heard is actually compromising your ability to lead. It's you also feel threatened in some way, and that's compromising the natural leader that you are. It's compromising your way of putting your people before yourself, of meeting certain needs, because this conflict maybe makes you feel as though your needs are not met. You aren't being respected, you aren't being listened to, seen, or understood. So it's just like this conflict that isn't leading anywhere because it's not productive conflict. It's not going the right way. And that makes the continuation of it, it's like digging yourselves into a hole. It's really tricky. What's the advice here? Queen of Swords. The advice here, either for some of you, it is to embody this Queen of Swords energy. For others of you, it's to find this Queen of Swords. Someone else in the community to bring this person in, or to identify what person this is and go to them for advice, to activate them, to empower them, encourage them, to share their gifts that would help this situation. So whether this is you, this is the version of yourself you need to be, or someone else, who is this person? What is that Queen of Swords? Queen of Swords is someone who is able to translate past sorrows, disappointments, failures, losses into wisdom. So this is someone who has seen a lot, like she has been through the ringer. She doesn't use that life experience to victimize herself. She doesn't use it to limit herself. She doesn't live in a jaded way. She doesn't let the things that have happened to her define her. Rather, she uses those things as like tools to make her more powerful, make her more relatable, universal, effective in the force for good that she is. What's another way of saying that? It's taking those things and really being able to separate her own ego from it, so that she's not focused on the wounding, she's not focused on, her victimhood, but rather she's focused on the lessons from them. She's able to distill the lessons and wisdom that these experiences, painful experiences, have given her. And that not only benefits herself, it puts her in a position of like power and influence because she's a queen, but it also helps and benefits others, everyone around her. So either this is like calling on you to be this person, whereas maybe oftentimes you're just kind of like, let me just meet the basic needs, let me just, do what has to get done, which is very King of Pentacles energy, like someone needs this, I get it for them. This is much more like Queen of Swords, much more reflective, much more like communication focused, not so much about like going down a checklist of what has to happen and just like checking those boxes. It's messier than that because it requires dialogue and reflection and things that aren't as easily controllable as a checklist. So maybe you are being called to embody this Queen of Swords role. You're getting in touch with your Queen of Swords self, someone who initiates these dialogues, initiates these conversations, is able to take herself out of it, but talk about things in a way that benefits others, like really distill the lessons of past failures and hurts, so that people don't feel alienated, but they feel connected to you. Maybe that's what's happening for you. Or maybe this is like making you think of someone specific in your community who is this. And the advice then is to seek counsel with them, to support them, to encourage them to do what they do so that we can heal this conflict, or really move this conflict, transform this conflict into the type that is productive and helpful conflict, like really good conflict that actually gets us to solutions. I hope this was clear, Sag. I would love to hear how this looks specifically for you in your life, so feel free to comment below. If this was valuable to you, and you'd like to support this work, if you'd like to help me do this work better for you, please check out the link to my Patreon below and consider contributing just a few dollars a month, which really goes a long way into helping me do what I do and to do more of it and to do better. There's also a lot of goodies and bonuses there on Patreon. You can check those out. If you're interested in monthly personal readings, there's tiers there for discounted monthly readings on Patreon. If that's something that interests you, you want that personalized kind of monthly support, check that out. If you can't support in that way, please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. Sharing is really crucial for me right now. I'm trying to get the word out about this community, this collective. And if you have witchy friends, you have loved ones who are really devoted to their self-growth and introspective work, please share this channel with them. Send them their sun sign reading for February. If anyone's struggling in their life right now, that and need some extra support, maybe send this along to them too. That's why I do this. So Sag, thank you so much. Beautiful to connect with you as always. I'm rooting for you. I love you very much, and I will see you next time.